Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So this is going to be the last video that I make about this extremely informative interview that Kabam John had with XN Interviews, and definitely go check out their channel. I'll leave a link in the video description to the full interview. It's about an hour long. Jay is an awesome content creator. He mainly focuses on MCOC lore and story and things like that, but they also do some awesome interviews, as evident by all the treasure trove of information that we are getting here from this interview with Kabam John. They have had me on there for an interview and a ton of other content creators and other Kabam employees, so definitely well worth check that out. They are closing in on 1,000 subscribers, so it'd be awesome if we help to get them there. Right. There are a few more things, or quite a few more things that, you know, could potentially be video worthy. Maybe I'll cover some of them, but in short, I think one of the things that I'm not going to make a specific video about is the fact that now each game mode basically has a dedicated person, so we hopefully will see, you know, some quality improvements in every kind of alliance aspect of the game mode. And on top of that, the fact that starting season 38, we will be getting updated boss fights in Alliance Wars. That means that, you know, the bosses are going to have different node setups, and that allegedly they're going to change every 3 or so months. So season 38, we will have different boss fights, but that's not what this video is meant to be about. This video is about AntMan Buff, and we do have some details and some worries that we can put to rest, because a lot of people are worried that AntMan is going to become even more annoying as a defender. So first, let's listen to what they have to say here, and then I'm going to comment on it.
I think he's actually going to be an easier defender than he is right now.
Oh.
If you want, I can just walk you through his whole kit. I made the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. His glancing is now an unsteady debuff he'll put on the opponent. So if you can shrug debuffs off or make them fail, then you don't have to deal with his glancing anymore. And he's very similar to the old one, where it's all about stacking a bunch of debuffs and converting them into poisons. It's pretty much the same thing, but it's a lot more built around it. Way more damage for all of his poisons. He has a new mechanic that's Pim Particles, which is like his own personal resource that he can build up. He can spend his Pim Particles to put power stings on the opponent, as well as refresh and pause his debuffs. So as soon as you get all of your poisons on the opponent, you can just keep them running forever. I know that you guys know that you know, Karate Mike does all of the a lot of the deep dive stuff these days, and so I got him to play around with him, and he really likes him. He thinks he's a little scared when I was showing him off to him, because like, dude, this guy just does so much poison damage. It's crazy. Yeah, he's very much still the same character through and through, but he's got a lot more of a fresh face. He's got Power Sting and Petrify in his kit now. He's got way more access to debuffs. And yeah, I think he'll be a really interesting addition to... He's not going to be blowing anything up, but if you need a guy to dump a bunch of debuffs and poisons on the opponent, he'll be great for it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I don't believe it was said any new animations on the forum post, but is there any new animations for him?
Nope, no new animations for him. And yeah, I see the ask about the Cap Sam synergy. Yeah, so that synergy, I'm removing half of it, is the best way I can describe it. He won't be pausing stuff anymore, but he will still double all the fatigues that he's putting on. Well, I guess, yeah, he'll put 8 fatigues on the opponent for every special one, and he can put a max of 12 poisons. So you'll throw 2 special ones and a special 2, and you've got big damage.
Awesome, man.
Okay, so there's actually quite a lot of information here about AntMan's Buff. Number one is the fact that his glancing is kind of going to be easier to work around, because it is going to be in form of debuff. Now, it's unclear exactly how it's going to activate, whether you need to get hit or something, or it just activates automatically, but at the very least, given the fact that it is in fact a debuff, yes indeed, many of the skill champions with shrug off capabilities should be able to counter that glancing, which was never really an option before. So that is a good thing. So AntMan isn't going to be nasty as defender. Now, there are some things that I know people are not going to be happy about, like the fact that it doesn't seem like he's going to be able to basically stack the fatigues infinitely and work like Star-Lord anymore with Captain America Sam Wilson synergy, which I know for a fact a certain person who submitted a rank 4 Ant-Man video to me is probably not going to be happy about that bit. But I also think that putting all things together, you know, as long as he comes out as a great champion, I don't think that it is an absolute deal breaker. Just like Kabam John here said, it seems that he will have a max cap of 12 poisons that you will be able to basically hold infinitely on the opponent. So it does kind of sound similar-ish to Diablo in a sense. There's going to be a new mechanic for him, kind of new fight currency, pim particles. It's quite cool, and also they mentioned the fact that he is going to have access to power stings and petrify, which are kind of like, you know, extremely quintessential science debuffs, I would say, and mechanics. So he does indeed sound quite interesting. It does sound, in a sense, better than pretty much any other debuff that we have gotten so far, if obviously he's potent enough. They kind of describe the rotation there of double level 1 and level 2 then. So that's not the quickest ramp up, but we'll see how quickly he does ramp up, because as we all know, science champions often have that problem that they are fairly slow to start, or the damage output kind of caps out somewhere in the middle. But it definitely does sound much more interesting. It also, again, as long as it's easier to fight against, I think that's a very big part here, very important message to carry on. Unfortunately, it does not sound like they have gone with that idea that I have floated out for Ant-Man in years, where Ant-Man should have pre-fight ability that would change his sizes. So he should have, you know, before fight you can select whether you want to be extra small, small, medium, large, or extra large champion, and based on that you kind of get some sort of benefits. And obviously that could have some very cool interactions with different sets of nodes, like we have those size matters nodes where you want to be extra large, and we have some other nodes where you want to be smaller. I know map 7 in Lions Quest has quite a few of those nodes, so on and so forth. So it does not, unfortunately, sound... I still think that this is kind of like a missed opportunity. I think it would be a fairly easy mechanic to integrate, where, you know, you just select your size before a fight or something like that, and then get like a small bonus throughout the fight based on whatever it was selected. But whatever. That's not what we're getting. We're getting power stings, petrify, poison, fatigue, and that glancing debuff. So that by definition means that Ant-Man will have at least 5 different debuffs in his pocket to access to, which you know, is always good that champions have these varieties. I love science class in as whole, and very powerful Ant-Man would definitely be quite interesting. Now, unfortunately, my Ant-Man's actually unduped still to this day, but at least I do have a 6-star. Anyways, that's going to be pretty much it for these. I'm not sure if I'm going to cover anything more from this interview, because I do think I have kind of provided you guys with most important tidbits of information. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about what you heard so far about the Ant-Man buff. To me, it does sound, well, at the very least, it sounds much more interesting than virtually any other buff so far this year. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. See ya. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about